Jack, it's another Mayor's Hour. Thanks again for making me look good and helping me along here.
That's impossible.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
You can't blame me for that.
We've had some great series, and we've talked about a lot of the good stuff that's going on in this city. And this school right here, Jack, Middleton High School, Middleton Magnet School, that we are at today is one of the shining stars. These kids are just doing some amazing things. And
they are. And
there's such a sense of hope and sense of optimism for the next generation. And what we're going to see today is not only a principal that's hands-on, that's dynamic, that is a great role model for these kids, but some of these young people are really doing some award-winning things.
Award-winning is the key. They have a robotics team that we're going to meet and we're going to work with, as a matter of fact, that won a state championship, and now they're going to the national championship. And I don't know if they do it like football or something, but they're ranked #1, as I understand. They're top seed going into the national championship. But the great thing about Middleton is it's all about this STEM thing you hear about that's been all the rage for the past year. Science, technology, engineering, and math. Yeah. And this place is so immersed in it, it's incredible. And some of the great leaders in technology are going to be emerging from this very school.
Well, you're absolutely right. And you know, you hear me talk about the best and the brightest not leaving Tampa. Yeah. Well, that's who these young kids are. These young kids right here who are future scientists, future engineers, future mathematicians, future doctors, future robotics and simulation experts. I mean, that's what we're learning here from these kids, and these kids are great. We'll be right back. We're going to meet the principal of the school, Owen Young, who's doing a great job out here at Middleton. And stay with us for just a minute. We'll be right back. Well, thanks for staying with us. We get to meet the leader of these young people here, the leader at Middleton Magnet High School, somebody who I actually know his mother, and I have known his mother longer than I have known him. So if he gets out of line, I'm going to tell Mom, and Jack's mom will not hesitate to put a whooping on this young man. It's like she's put a whooping on me for about 15 years.
That's a good thing. You know he's well disciplined.
Yeah, his mom is Lena Young Green, out in very, very active citizen out in Tampa Heights, and been a leader out there, and used to work for Senator Hargret.
That's right.
That's where I first met her, probably 20 years ago. But joining us today is Owen Young, who is the principal, the great principal of Middleton Magnet High School. And Owen, tell us a little bit about what we have here, what the school is all about, what the history of the school is.
Okay. Middleton High School, during segregation, was one of 2 high schools for African Americans. In 1934, it was named after George S. Middleton. In 1971, during integration, the school closed as a high school, remained a middle school. And then in 2002, we had the opportunity to bring Middleton back as the new Middleton with a magnet program tied to the theme. So that's where we are at this point in time with Middleton.
And it's a rich history, and of course, the newest part of the history is becoming a magnet school for incredibly talented kids, not only from around here, but from all over the Hillsborough County school system. Explain how that works.
Yes, and we're able to pull students from all over who have a desire to participate in a rich theme based on a career aspiration. For Middleton High School, our theme is STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we're able to attract students from the middle schools around the county who want to go out and want to be innovative in those areas of science, math, engineering, and technology.
Where the future really is. I mean, the development of the future. It's all about technology. It's all about, again, the future of America in global competition. That starts right here.
That's right. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the National Science Foundation statistics in 2002, they projected that America needed 1.3 million. In 2020, they're predicting that America will need 15 million. students in the area of science, engineering, and mathematics. So, hopefully we will meet that demand, and we'll continue to put out a quality product, with the great teachers that we have here at Middleton High School.
Now, this is also a neighborhood serving school.
Yes.
I see a lot of the young kids walk into school from the surrounding Middleton High School. Tell where are we geographically? What are some of the streets around here so folks can get an idea as to what Middleton is?
Middleton will run north to Hillsborough, south to Columbus. We'll go all the way over to 15th on the west end, and we may go close to 40th on the east end. Mayor, that's the great history of Middleton. Our ability to have such a diverse student body population. Everyone understands that it's about integrating. It's about everyone having a voice and everyone having a position as it pertains to where we're going to take Middleton, not only as a STEM high school, but also as a community high school that has a rich history.
Well, it's interesting, Jack, because I was here when they opened this school, and there's a tremendous sense of pride, particularly in the African American community, because there was a time when Blake and Middleton were the only schools that African Americans could go to.
Oh, yeah.
And they were destroyed over the years and replaced, and thanks to the leadership of the school board and Mary Ellen Elia, those two high schools were brought back and rebuilt as new schools.
Right.
Different locations, but now we have Blake Magnet for the performing arts, and we have Middleton Magnet here for engineering, STEM, and we're going to hear a little bit about the robotics earlier. But there is a tremendous sense of pride in the community for these two institutions, and I know Owen's been very aggressive about growing that and fostering that, and getting them involved and getting them engaged and getting them back to their alma mater.
Yeah, it's really about the exposure, both from a community standpoint and from the field of engineering. We meet the needs of all the children. We understand that each child may have a different needs as it pertains to STEM. We have several dynamic programs. We have our biotechnology and biomedical sciences. We have our Academy of Gaming program. We have engineering and computer systems engineering, all of which bring a whole different perspective to our students' exposure. In addition, we have our world-winning robotics teams.
Yes.
We've had our teams to be very active and very competitive in the robotics field. As a matter of fact, I think you made mention earlier that we do have one team that will be moving to the world competition. And our expectation is that we will win that.
Yeah, I understand they're seeded #1 already.
And they are.
Everybody expects them to do extremely well.
Yeah, and when you look at the points as they calculate their ranking, we are up in the top 1 or 2 with the most accumulated points of all the robotics teams that will be participating. So, we're going in with high hopes, and we know that our students will perform and come on back with that world championship.
Oh, that'd be great.
How do you get kids interested in the STEM?
Yeah.
I mean, some of the kids live in some tough neighborhoods around here. What is it that you're able to do to appeal to them, to get them engaged in science and math and engineering?
And man, I think that's a great question. And I think before we get into the whole idea of science and math, we have created a culture of caring. It's a place where everyone, where we speak of kids who may identify themselves as geeks, they have a voice here. And when they come, I think there's a spirit here at the school that says to everyone that you're included in this process. Then we make sure that we have the teachers who could deliver that level of rigor as it pertains to how and what we expose children to. As a matter of fact, when you look at the whole Project Lead the Way certification that we were able to attain last year, our teachers had to go through a rigorous training. They had to actually go through a pre-assessment. Then they go through, if they pass that, then they go through a 2-week program at Duke University. And then once they pass that, then they are placed at the school, but then they have to continue to go through trainings. And those are the types of ingenuity as it pertains to really creating those environments for our children to have the opportunity to compete in a market that's ever growing.
It's such a rich history. This school has such a rich history, and yet most people aren't aware of what's really going on in here. You tend to think of it, and I must say I'm guilty too. Think of Middleton, what a class band, greatest band in the world. You see them out in Gasparilla, or you see them at events and things like that, and you say that's one of the greatest bands around. And you think, holy cow, you're going to the national championship or world championship in robotics.
Yeah, and that's a discussion that we're having in the community. The reality is that as we look at education reform, the school has to shift. And the reality is that the band that was once a very rich band, and this is some work that I'm doing with the alumni to get them to align with the shift in reform, because there are some things that's going to shift as it pertains to legacy and what we have to project in the future as it pertains to preparing our kids. And fortunately, for us, Middleton is a STEM school, and that's where the primary focus is as it pertains to the curriculum that supports that initiative.
Well, and thanks. We're going to take a short break. You are looking at behind me some of the future scientists and engineers and mathematicians and doctors. And so stay with us. This is a great story. This is a great school. We'll be right back. We are back, Jack. That rhymes.
It certainly does.
My 6-year-old would be very proud of me.
You're rapping in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. We're back at Middleton High School, Middleton Magnet High School, located in the heart of the city of Tampa. We are with the lead magnet teacher, who is the coordinator of a lot of the robotics that we're going to hear about in a little bit. But she's one of the stars out here as well. You've met Owen Young, the principal. But the folks that are actually in the classrooms here and guiding these young people and inspiring these young people is here with us today, Kathy Frericks. And we're excited to have her. And
thank you.
Tell us what we're seeing here. Tell us what you do. Tell us about STEM. Tell us how it works, how you get in, what the curriculum is.
We're a 10-year-old school, and our focus has always been on STEM, science, technology, engineering, math. We've had engineering magnet programs since the school opened, and that's probably our strongest. Just we've been able to build on it. We've been involved in robotics since the 2nd year of our existence, which is First Robotics Organization, which is sponsored by NASA.
Wow. And
our students have been competing not only in Florida, but outside of Florida as well. They've been to Clemson University to compete, and Peachtree, Atlanta. This year, however, we have a team going to the World Championships in St. Louis, Missouri.
From Tampa.
From Tampa.
From Middleton
And
Magnet.
we found out, our coaches checked all the teams who are going to this World Championship. Our division has 64 teams, and they checked all the scores from this season's tournament, and we are the top seed going into the World Championships.
Any office pools? I mean,
Not yet.
Can we start to bet on this yet?
We're going to intrigue.
That's right. We'll get online and start betting on the Middleton team.
Yeah, this is something I'd never even heard of. I didn't even know it was going on. You guys won a state championship already, and obviously, again, seeded #1 going into this global championship.
Right.
I didn't even know this kind of thing was going on. Is this very rare in high schools? Obviously, there are others doing it, or you wouldn't have 130 competitors in St. Louis.
It's becoming more popular. We're seeing more robotics teams coming up in the middle schools and in elementary schools.
Really?
So the students start out with junior FLL, which is First Lego League, when they're real little. Then they go into FLL teams in middle school, and then they find high schools that go into the FTC, First Tech Challenge, which is this field and team, and then the first robotics competition, which are the real big bots, and we have a team of FRC as well.
I want to ask what might be a dumb question, but there might be others watching the Mayor's Hour right now who say, I've wondered about that myself. I'd never heard the term STEM until last year, and the president and the vice president and others began talking about STEM, the importance of STEM, how we need to look to that for the future of America being globally competitive and everything. Has that term been around for a long, long time and we just didn't know about it?
No, when we opened up 10 years ago, we did not use the word STEM. We were the engineering school.
Yeah.
However, we were heavy in science, technology, engineering, math. It's just that buzzword wasn't out there yet. And it is a buzzword now. You're hearing it all over. We're seeing more scholarships coming down for students who pick STEM degree programs. So it's big now, and we truly are the STEM high school here in Tampa.
And where we were a little bit earlier, they're working in the biomed field. I mean, these kids are, so it's just amazing. And the breadth of STEM itself, from math all the way through sciences and medicine and robotics and things like that.
Right.
Well, you know, it's interesting, Jack. We did a show on the Camels facility downtown Tampa, which is a USF facility that's doing simulation robotics for surgical applications. You know, these young people that devise these these things, those are the same ones that eventually will be running simulation and robotics in some of these high-tech companies.
One of the medical doctors who's involved with the Camel is his son is a freshman here, and he's one of our lead programmers for one of our FTC teams.
Which is great. Which is great.
And how do kids get into these programs? Do they have to have a certain level of accomplishment before they come in, or can they come in and start from scratch, or do you check their IQs, or
that would rule us out.
Believe me, I'd be finished. I knew that in the last place we were.
To get into the Middleton Magnet side, they have to apply, and it is based on scores, test scores, GPAs, writing scores.
From their middle schools?
From their middle schools, yes.
And this draws from all over the county?
All over the county. We have students who live off of Tarpon Springs Road all the way down to Sun City Center.
And what percentage of the population in Middleton is magnet versus
okay,
general population?
We're finally in building mode, because when the school opened, we were heavy on the neighborhood side. It was supposed to be originally 2/3 magnet, 1/3 neighborhood population, but the reverse happened. We are now down on the neighborhood side, so we have a good 400. We're 400 below capacity. So right now we're currently 1/3 magnet, 2/3 traditional, but we have that room, so we're bringing in more magnet students now.
For bumpkins like myself, how much time is spent doing these, for them, fun stuff?
Okay.
And how much time is devoted to traditional learning, English and whatever else there is, ciphering?
Well, what you're going to see today.
That's what you did in West Virginia. You did ciphering. Except you had to take your shoes off to count on your toes.
Yeah, we didn't go over 20.
Well, we do that too. This is an extracurricular activity. This is not a class. Robotics is a club. So, and we have students from all over Middleton, from the biomed program, the computer game design magnet program, the computer engineering. They can all be part of robotics. We even have some neighborhood students who are on our robotics teams.
Well, Kathy, thanks. We're going to be right back. I think we're going to get a chance to take a look at some of these robots and
maybe operate them.
Yeah, maybe operate them if we're really lucky. We're good kids. We won't do anything bad. But thank you for what you did.
You're going to need your shirts. So you're going to be Team Masquerade, and you are going to be Team Minotaur.
All right.
That's our team.
There we go.
Okay.
What team am I? Team Minotaur?
No, you're Masquerade. You're the one that's going to World Championship
World
this year.
Championship in St. Louis.
You went there last year, Minotaur.
Oh, it's old stuff for me.
Yes. So you're the pro.
This kind of looks like what we're going to be dealing with in August.
Oh, right.
You might be right.
Well, Team Masquerade is ready to kick the tar out of Team Minotaur, because I've seen him drive before.
Kick the tar out.
And
I've seen
know,
you drive, spinning around.
I don't have to drive anymore, you know, but I know you bump into everything. So we're going to win this thing, and I'm bringing home the hardware if I can ever get off this platform. So these guys who are a lot smarter than me are going to help me. We're going to get this thing, right?
All right.
Hey, I'm over here with the valedictorian, who's already, Columbia wants her so badly. She got a full ride to Columbia. MIT's tried to get her and everything else.
Oh, my gosh.
So you guys better watch out.
Well, I'm sure if you combine both of our grade point averages and multiply it times 3, it would not equal.
Not even going to come up to Jasmine by a long shot.
All right. So, are we ready? I'm ready to stomp these guys into the ground? All right.
I'm sure where we're going.
Okay, you all wait for a while. Okay.
The crates are in the wrong position. They kind of have to be in the long way.
Oh, they got to be in a long way.
Yeah, so you kind of have to turn the crates.
Okay.
Then I can go ahead. All right, now kind of go forward and try and bring the crate in by pressing the top 2 buttons.
Bring the T-Rex arm up.
And you kind of have to drive forward at the same time. So you try and use your index fingers to bring it in, and use your thumbs to go
right
forward.
a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Turn a little bit more.
All right, press A and then back up.
Okay, now bring the T-Rex arm down.
All right, press A, the green button.
Green button.
Bring it in.
Oh, no, I'm going to get tangled up in it.
Like that.
All right, just kind of try and back it up. All right, now press the A button.
Yeah, just
All right, you gotta try and get that thing off. It's not always easy. You gotta drive and get it off. It's really not an easy task.
I've noticed that.
And just think, we have to try and do this in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And my personal record is I've gotten 4.
Now, if I push him out of the way like this, is that a good thing?
It's playing defense. It makes it harder on him.
I'm all about offense. Goodbye, Jack.
He's going to make the man have to
Just for good measure, goodbye, Jack.
Perfect. Bring it in. Bring it in. Up. No, you just got to bring it in. Don't drive forward anymore. Perfect. Now press A. Press A. All right, X. All right. Now go get a ball.
Go get a ball?
Yeah, it's in the back. It's in the back. Go get a ball. You got the crate. That's the hard part. Yep. You got the crate and you flipped it over. Now you got to go get a ball.
Turn like this so that it's...
This way?
I don't even see this ball.
All right, just drive forward. Drive this way. And just keep going this way. All right.
Oh, got a ball.
Got a ball. Now press
Oh.
Now press A. Now press A. All right, now it's time to go for our next crate.
Okay.
All right, that's 1.
The next crate, I'm
Yes.
just happy getting 1 crate. Okay.
It surprised me you got 1 crate.
Hey, easy, easy. I'm the mayor. Man,
Most people on my team can't get a crate. So press X. And try and straighten those crates out. And press A.
Why am I?
All right. There you go.
I'm not turning that. No, there
See
we
what
go.
that does is it kind of straightens it out a little bit.
Might be a first.
And now
what?
open. And press A. And then kind of drive forward and then suck it in. All right, perfect. Now back it up and then turn it so you can see the crate.
Okay.
And this, all right, take this side out and try and straighten it up, and then you have to bring them in at the exact same time. Now go. Bring it in.
Now bring down your...
Close it. Now go get a ball. Just go get that loose. Just go for a loose ball, and then I'll stack it and raise it. All right, we got a ball. That's good. Give me a second. All right. Now this sometimes happens when something like that happens. That's what happens when the string's messed up. You kind of have to jiggle it back and forth and try and get the latches down so we can grab the next crate. That's perfect. Perfect. Nice and, all right, there you go. All right, now press A, and I can see if I got it. All right, now I want you to back up into the protected zone so that he can't hit you without getting a penalty. All right. And we'll lift the crates. And like I said, something happens, so I really can't go any higher than about right there. This is the only place I don't want to break.
Does this mean I win?
You won. He hasn't gotten his crate yet.
No crate over there, Jack.
It took me all that time to get a crate.
I think we already smoked you. You need me on your team?
I don't know. I do
Say
a
yes,
really good
yes.
job.
I'm the mayor. Say yes.
All
Say
right. Yes.
Okay, that's good. Because
I bet you'd be really good at campaigning for us.
Okay, that's a nice try. That was good. That was good. That's called saving yourself. Yeah, I couldn't do this if you paid me. I can barely drive my own car. Very cool. Very cool. All right. I think we've got to go see Computer Mentors now. Stay with us. I want to congratulate all of these young people that are here today. They make Tampa proud. They're going to bring home the World Championship in robotics. These are our future leaders, our future scientists, our future mathematicians. They are Tampa. We love them. They're making us proud. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in just a little bit.
The classes here at Middleton's Pre-Collegiate STEM Academy are challenging but engaging.
Middleton offers exclusive programs like an engineering program, Cisco Academy, Video Game Design Academy, and a biomedical and biotechnology program.
Magnet students get a lot of opportunities that other students would never get. I'm in a dual enrollment class at USF. It's actually a junior level engineering course.
It's statistics for engineers. We actually get iPads for the class, and we get the full college credit for it.
Many of my teachers here at Middleton High School are actual professional engineers. With that, they help actually teach us and inspire us on how engineering principles are actually applied in the real world.
The classes here at Middleton High School are both challenging and engaging.
Middleton High School is the pre-collegiate STEM academy for Hillsborough County Public Schools. We have a fantastic program to help our students achieve their goals of becoming scientists, technologists, as well as engineers. Our campus is comprised of 53 acres of wooded land. To support our students' learning engagement and to create those wonderful opportunities, we have the most technologically advanced classrooms in Hillsborough County Public Schools. We have 12 computer labs on our campus, and every one of our classrooms is equipped with the most modern technology, including smart boards, Elmos, laptops, and projectors. Our teachers use this technology every day to create those rich learning environments in which our students can engage and learn the skills that they will need to be successful in the future.
And what I did with my group was build an autonomous flying quadcopter, which uses 4 propellers and inertial measurement units to self-stabilize itself.
And projects like these really help us learning innovating skills that we'll be using later on in our career.
To ensure that our teachers are prepared to equip our students with the most technologically advanced coursework, they must attend specialized training. For example, our teachers that teach the engineering and biomedical biotechnology program are required to earn Project Lead the Way certification. In order for them to earn their certification, they must attend a rigorous 2-week program for every class that they teach. These courses are offered at many different universities around the nation, to include Duke University, the University of Colorado, the University of Illinois, and the University of Maryland.
The classes here at Middleton are really challenging and they never get boring.
In addition to our great academic programs, Middleton offers a wide range of electives. For example, in the world languages, we offer for our students that are musically inclined, piano, as well as a sound engineering course where students can design and produce their own CDs. Like any other high school in Hillsborough County Public School, Middleton offers a wide range of advanced placement courses. But because we are a STEM high school, we offer specialized AP courses which will meet the needs of our students in their fields of engineering and science. For example, we offer Calculus BC and Physics C, which are specialized courses and are requirements for students that are going to pursue a college career in engineering and science. Through our unique programs that we offer at Middleton High School, we are not only preparing our students for college, but we're preparing them to be accepted into the top universities in this nation in their fields of engineering, science, and technology.
I'm going to MIT. My fellow students have gone to places like Georgia Tech, Brown, Cornell, West Point, and of course our top Florida universities like USF, University of Florida, the MU.
The courses here at Middleton High School have given me the confidence to succeed in college.
For the musician, we have an orchestra and a band. I play piano, I play the violin in the orchestra and the flute in the band, and I think it's a great experience for any musician.
And we also have Air Force JROTC, which has helped me with my discipline and leadership skills.
Middleton has so many opportunities to develop yourself as a leader. Clubs, friends, sports, and other extracurricular activities really help in putting yourself out there and doing your own thing. Middleton helps not only me, but so many other students in becoming who they really are and leading the way.
At Middleton Pre-Collegiate STEM Academy, we are preparing leaders today for the science, technology, and engineering worlds of tomorrow.
Jack, we're back. Thank you for staying with us. We are going to highlight another one of our community heroes, one of the great assets in this community. We just came from Middleton High School, and we saw these amazing young people doing robotics, getting ready to compete for a world championship in robotics. We saw the pre-med program there. Some amazing, amazing kids. And Ralph Smith, who's standing right here to my left, is another one of those folks in this community that have just identified a need, recognized that technology is the currency of the new marketplace, that if these young people out here in East Tampa don't get an opportunity to become conversant in computers and computer skills and how to build computers, they're not going to survive. And he created computer mentors, and he did it in 1997.
Right.
And I've known Ralph for probably close to 20 years. Was on one of his original boards, and I love this program. I mean, it really is an amazing program that touches a lot of lives. How many, Ralph, have you touched coming through here?
Well, thanks, Mayor and Jack, for allowing us to do this. But yeah, we've touched at least 1,100 lives. We've touched 1,100 kids that have come through this program. And that's just on top of what we do just on a regular basis. Right now, there's about 1,100 families a year that actually come through Computer Mentors and use our facilities.
Explain the program and how it works.
Okay, we've just changed the program. So basically what happens right now is that we turn it into a service learning model, and so the kids are earning a certification like these that you see here on the wall called IC3, and then once they earn that, then they actually start providing service to the community through service learning projects that they do for other nonprofit organizations.
Now explain what those might be, how that works. I mean, are these like the offshoot of STEM programs or what?
Absolutely. I mean, we are definitely a STEM program with a large T for technology.
Yeah.
But what our kids are doing, what we're trying to do is actually push kids into information technology jobs. So we actually let them work doing work that nonprofits need to have done. So we're soliciting nonprofit projects for things that they need to have us work on, like websites or email blasting systems, video production systems, stuff like that. So anything that's related to technology we'll accept as a project.
I need somebody who can hook up my DVD and my Blu-ray. It's been sitting there for 3 months. You got somebody who can help me?
Well, I tell you what, we got to get
really do. It's been sitting there since Christmas.
You sound like me.
To qualify, you got to get yourself a 501c3 certification. But once you
I work for the government. I'm a walking 501c3 charitable organization.
Hey, do what I did. Get a son.
Yeah. That's, oh, it's you know, I keep looking at it. Can you help me? Can you help me? And it still sits there in the box. But anyway.
Right. But the big deal is that, you know, here in the United States, a lot of kids have chosen not to go into information technology. So we are one of those groups that are trying to push kids back into information technology as a career.
Well, I mean, you know what's fascinating, and I want folks to hear this. You're training them here, and then they are going out into the world, young people in high school, and doing IT work for not-for-profits, getting real-world experience, getting paid, and learning on the job.
Exactly. And we're reaching out to our technology partners, the guys who actually know what they're doing, the information technology professionals, to come and mentor them. So once they go through and get their IC3 certification, they will be mentored one-on-one to actually perform the project for the nonprofit organization.
How do you support this program? Where does the monetary support come from?
Well, of course, that's the toughest challenge. And in fact, I never, started this to be a fundraiser, but that kind of is what my job has turned into. But we've got some great people and great companies that actually help us provide this service, including Bank of America, if you'll let me just mention. I know I'll get myself in trouble, but Verizon is another big one.
No, it's okay. No,
that's fine.
We appreciate those companies that believe in you and what you're doing, so you can tell us all about them.
All right. I mean, those are the largest two companies, but we've got a foundation, the Kyle Memorial Foundation, that has really stood behind us, and Chef Crowder and his group that has stood behind us. Even Community Foundation here in Tampa have helped us. So we kind of have spread a wide a tent, and we've got a lot of companies, foundations, and the government. City of Tampa helped us quite a bit with even providing, used computers that are coming off the floor at the City of Tampa. We provide those back into the community.
Do you track how many of your kids go on to college? and going to the IT field?
We did, and we kind of lost track back in probably about 2006. But prior to that, every kid that came through Computer Mentors that actually went into our advanced program went on to college.
That's great.
100%.
Ooh, that's 100%. That's
100%.
amazing. And you've got some illustrious alumni, I think, at least one picture out there that everybody got pretty excited here in the crew.
Yeah, absolutely. We are so proud that Garrett Johnson came through Computer Mentors in about 1999, went on to Florida State, went on to be a track star in the shot put, and then was selected and became a Rhodes Scholar, and went on and got his master's degree at Oxford, went to work for Senator Lugar as working on the Foreign Affairs Committee, and we thought he was going to be one of our next ambassadors. But he got the bug about information technology and has now started his own information technology company.
Now, we were talking before we came on the air. A lot of these kids here come from tough neighborhoods and some very, tragic circumstances. Tell us how this applies in their life. I mean, at school they have access to the computers, but when they get home, perhaps they don't. I mean, is this a way for them to sort of continue that education and that training and to have access on these computers where they might not, where they live?
Well, the first thing, Bob, is that, if someone does not have, if they do not have a computer in their home and the internet in order to be able to get out and get information, then they are really just being left behind. Yeah. And I don't know if people know, but about 30% of families that are very low income, as HUD refers to it, do not have a computer or internet in their home. So those folks are just, the only thing that they can do is go to places like libraries or even places like this, but there's limited hours. Having it in the home, there's no replacement for that. So that's where we're really still trying to bridge the divide. But now we're actually going to reach into not just the technology divide, but we're actually come up with some programs using technology, the big T in STEM for us, but to actually do some science programs. So try to encourage kids to get involved in science as well. We try to pique their interest, and we just can't wait to see what kind of stuff these kids are going to do.
Well, if those young people at Middleton High School are any indication, I mean, that science bug is alive and well, and those kids are loving it. I mean, you see, they just light up when they're in those labs and doing the robotics. And
we're in the robotics, and I was with the valedictorian of Middleton, already on our way to Columbia, and scholarship offers from MIT and everything like that. And it's just remarkable that this is going on, and then augmented by something like this is so even more remarkable. I mean, it was unheard of, anything like this, and when we were going to school, or when I was going to school especially.
Well, they didn't have computers when you were going to school.
They certainly didn't even have.
I'm not even sure they had cars.
We didn't even. We were using our toes and fingers back then. That was it. We could count to 20, and that was all.
As you can see, Ralph and I, that Jack and I have a great time doing this. We're going to take a break for a second. We need to support this program. I mean, this is a great program helping a lot of young people move on to a better life. I don't usually make pitches on the Mayor's Hour, but if you want to support a worthwhile charity that's creating real opportunities for young people, go find Computer Mentors on the web and do what you can.
And maybe we can get them to stay in Tampa, too.
Absolutely. That's the goal, is to send them off to the best universities in the country and then make sure that they come home here. But we'll be right back with one of the volunteers that's so active here at Computer Mentors, and then we're going to talk to one of the kids. All right, we're back, Jack, and we have one of the great volunteers. Computer Mentors is largely fueled by volunteers and corporate support. You met Ralph Smith earlier. He is the executive director, the founder of Computer Mentors, but the folks that actually make this happen and contribute so much, one of them is with us today. He's a fellow by the name of Neil Armstrong, and he is the, I guess, vice chairman of Computer Mentors, and an all-around good guy. I had the chance to meet him a couple months ago. I'm going to let him tell us about that a little bit later. But Neil, tell us a little about why you got involved.
Well, in talking with Ralph, you know, I've known Ralph for a long time as well, and I was down at his facility when he was on Florida, and I saw the need. I'm a product of the projects, you know, and I wish they had a computer mentors when I was a kid. So I've always been volunteering, and I thought this is a great organization, something that I want to be attached to. And Ralph himself is a testament of the organization. You know, he speaks largely for it. I want to be close to him and support him.
How did you come up with the kind of background necessary to be a mentor in a program like this? I mean, I couldn't do it by a long shot.
Okay. Well, good question. Years ago, I was a kid growing up, you know, I grew up in Montreal, and I had a couple of coaches that steered me. I wanted to be an athlete, like all the kids probably in this community and around. I wanted to be an athlete. And one guy steered me and says, you know, get an education, get a career. So I was lucky enough when I was younger, I got an internship at an IT company coming right out of high school. They said, you know, stick with us, we'll pay your way, we'll put you through school, and, you know, go from there. So when I got old enough, I wanted to give back and do the same thing for kids like me at the time that didn't have the opportunities.
So you had an IT career?
Yes.
Now, are you still working or you retired?
No, I'm retired now. I retired in 2006. I had a 38-year IT career with Unisys and Verizon, GT Verizon.
And how does a session happen, or how do you hook up with these kids to work with them, to mentor them?
Well, I'm going to sign you up. There's lots of ways. There's lots of ways. You can come in and just share your experiences, your work experiences. You know, how to put together a resume. You know, simple things. It doesn't always have to be IT related, but you know, kids coming out of school, a lot of them don't know how to put resumes together. So I came in originally and I said, I'm going to take some of my business experience as well as my IT experience, teach the kids some of the life skills, you know, how to present themselves in front of people, how to talk to adults, how to shake hands and look them right in the eye, those types of things. And I run, well, with Ralph and his programs, yearly we run a couple of programs where we teach career skills, life development skills.
Well, those are so important, and unfortunately, kids don't learn them in high school.
Yes. Or at home.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe high schools should think about some kind of a little course, maybe a 1-hour course per week or something like that with those kind of skills.
So you're involved in a number of other activities around the community as well?
Yes.
I mean, you're a full-time volunteer, basically.
Almost.
So tell us some of the other stuff.
Okay, well, I'm also involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters. So I help them with their recruiting efforts, and they'll call me from time to time to go to some of their events and help out. I'm also a big brother to 3 littles. 3 little brothers. I have 2 teenager brothers. They're 14 and 15 years old. The 14-year-old goes to Benito Middle School. The 15-year-old goes to Wharton High School. And I see them a couple of times a month, probably about 20 hours a month. And then the little guy is in 3rd grade at Just Elementary, and I see him once a week, 1 hour a week at school.
Well, you are busy
I try
in mentoring. And being from Canada, what's your favorite sport?
I guess. Hockey, eh?
Now, you do root for the Lightning now, don't you?
Absolutely. I'm a homer.
All right.
I'm a homer. Yeah.
Well, Jack, one of the cool things about Neil is, and this is where I first met him, is he is one of the recipients of the Lightning Community Foundation and Jeff Vinnick, the owner of Lightning's generosity, where he gives $50,000 every game to a deserving recipient who then turns around and gives it to the charity that he's been involved in. And tell us, I happened to be there with Mr. Vinnick that night, so tell us about that experience.
It was first of all, besides my marriage and the birth of my children, best experience
Meeting the mayor was the best thing ever happened to you?
Well, that's right there.
Okay, I was just going to help you along.
Thank you. But great experience.
I think it had more to do with Vinny LeCavier and Marty St. Louis. And
I got a call that asked me to be there on February 14th. Valentine's Day. So I called up my wife.
Boy, you had some explaining to do to your wife.
I said, guess what we're doing for Valentine's Day?
I've tried that a few times. It never works for me.
How romantic.
So we went down there.
So you had no idea?
I did know that I was nominated. Okay. And coincidentally, Big Brothers and Computer Mentors both nominated me at the same time.
That's great.
Just a coincidence. You know, so I got word. I got a call one day saying that I'm a finalist. And that, well, I thought there's no way I'm going to win. You know, I'm just a regular, everyday guy. Well, I get this call about a week before, probably on February 7th, that I was a winner. And to be there on February 14th and bring whoever I wanted. So I called Ralph, I thanked him, and I brought 6 of his staff, 6 from Big Brothers, and 6 friends and family members. And again, $50,000 check. I met the mayor.
There we go.
I met the NHL commissioner, Mr. Bettman,
Mr. Bettman,
of course, Mr. Vinnick and his entire organization. And I was presented with a check of which I split it. I gave $25,000 to Computer Mentors and $25,000 to Big Brothers Big Sisters.
I mean, that's amazing. He gets $50,000 and he takes it and gives it to the charities that he cares about. about. I mean, that's why he won that award.
Yeah, and that would go a long way toward this mentoring program here, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
$25,000.
Yeah.
That's huge. But
It's a big deal, and I'll give you a quick story. It'll take 30 seconds. A little guy, when I got the call, I was at Just Elementary with the little gentleman that I mentor, and I said to him, I just won an award, you know, and I told him it was $50,000. So he goes, $50,000? Did you get to keep any of it? And I said, no, not. I get to donate it, though, and help out other kids like you. And then he says, do you get to keep even $2? I said, no, I
Lunch money?
Yeah. Not even a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
Well, Neil, we appreciate what you do. It's guys like you and other men and women around this community that really don't do it for the accolades. You don't do it to get your name in the paper. You certainly didn't do it for the accolades that you got at the Lightning game. You do it because you believe in these causes and you believe in these young people. And so we appreciate it. Certainly as mayor, I couldn't do what I do without folks like you doing what you do.
Thank you, Mayor.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Jack, very, very much. I appreciate your support. Thank you.
We'll be right back with one of the young students that's here at Computer Mentors. Stay with us. We are back for our final segment, Jack, with one of the products of Computer Mentors, a young lady who is a Middleton product, and is from Tampa and went through Computer Mentors when she was a young lady. Her name is Kayla King, and right now she's nervous as can be. So everyone out there, just be gentle with her, because
yes,
you know it's okay, Kayla. It's all good. He bites, I don't.
That's why he put me over here.
But welcome to the show. This is Jack Harris, my cohort from WFLA. Tell us about your experience with Computer Mentors.
Well, when I first got here, I was actually informed by a teacher at Blake High School. I took a PC support class, and he told me about this place. I wasn't too familiar about it, so when he gave me an overview of what the programs and the company is all about, I was like, okay, I'll take a look at it and see what it's like. And so I signed up to be a student. I looked at, I went through the program. It was a little hard because I wasn't understanding the technicalities of the different things of the program, the computers and things like that. But good thing that the trainers here helped me out, and I was able to understand it, and I ended up getting my IC3 certification.
Good.
And so it took me maybe about 6 months to go through the course, and I ended up becoming a trainer afterwards when they found out that they liked me, so I ended up being hired.
Wow.
So you are a trainer now?
Yes.
Here, working with other young people.
Yes.
The same thing, so you're kind of perpetuating what happened to you with others.
Yes.
Well, that is fantastic.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah. What do you plan to do, in the future? I mean, obviously the mentoring and that kind of thing. I guess you'll just be staying with this program.
Yes, I would be. Because I like training and the students that we help through the program, it kind of gives them a little idea of what it'd be like to be a trainer. And so when I continue to do the teaching for them, and when it comes to the computers, it kind of helps me because I kind of learn as they learn, and I learn new things every day. So
after Blake, what did you do?
I pretty much took up part-time work here. So
that's great. So you've been here ever since? Either part-time or full-time?
Part-time.
Good for you. Good for you.
You
live
plan
here.
to go into a full-time position somewhere, or into something else anytime?
Maybe when I continue to do, when I continue to learn. And when I was going to college, I was thinking about pursuing that. I might go back and do that. So.
Good. Good. And so the kids that you're teaching and that you're mentoring, do you find that their skill level when they get here is up to par for what it should be?
I think so. I mean, of course, they know something about a computer, just like I did when I came in the program. I knew something, but not everything.
You knew how to text your boyfriends, right?
I know how to text, yes, really good, pretty good. So they know something, and I just kind of, since they already have the foundation, I just kind of help them build on it. So.
Knowing the way kids are today, how they seem to be born with these skills somehow, and the fact you were saying, that you were okay back and you said you've learned from that too. And I would imagine when you do work with these young people that it's a learning opportunity for you in so many ways that you can, I mean, it's a two-way street here with you mentoring them and giving them adult supervision and that kind of thing, but then the kind of thing that you can walk away with has got to be pretty valuable too.
Oh yes, very valuable.
Now, do you know how to hook up a DVD?
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Yes,
I may hire you.
Okay. Mr. Cheap over here. I don't get anybody to do anything like that.
Okay. 3 months it's been sitting there, Jack.
I don't know about that.
You know, this is so cool that you were a product of this, and now you came back and are giving back to younger students that are coming up underneath you. This is exactly why this program is so important and why we need to support it. Young people like this who started out as a student, who's now a mentor and a teacher here, that is success. That is continuing that cycle and giving back. And so, Kayla, thank you for doing that. You're not nervous anymore?
No.
See, it was easy. We'll be right back.
You got a job hooking up his DVD.
Yeah.
Call. Okay, I'm ready.
We'll be right back as we close out the show, and Jack and I are going to have a few final thoughts. So, Kayla, thanks. Keep up the good work, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Jack, these kids are amazing. I mean, what we've seen today, whether here at Computer Mentors or what we saw over at Middleton Magnet School, you know, makes me feel like the next generation is prepared to take over after us and do so in very different ways than when you and I were growing up and the skills that we learned.
So much so, and it puts flesh on this term STEM that we've heard so much about the past year. All of a sudden you see STEM in action. You find out what it really means. We went from a biomed group of students into these kids that are into robotics, and over here to these kids that are into the computers, and it really does flesh out the term STEM, and it's really exciting to think that kind of thing is going on here, and that these students have reached these skill levels. It's remarkable.
Well, and we've got to find a way to make sure that we keep them here.
Yep.
I mean, we really want them to go off and get their 4-year degree or their 2-year degree at some of the best institutions in the country, but we need them to come back. And so our job is to create jobs for them to come back to.
Yeah, and that's happening. I mean, you're out there working constantly trying to bring the right kinds of companies into town. When you have USF doing what it's doing with things like the Camels Project and Moffitt Cancer Center and the great growth that they're experiencing now and becoming one of the greatest cancer institutions in the entire country, and all of the people that they're bringing in, all of the people that Camels is bringing in, and you put that together with McGill and the Port and all of these other opportunities for IT people to grow, it really is, I think, a nurturing environment in Tampa and in the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting is that not only the PhDs and the MPHs and the MDs are finding opportunities, but the technicians as well.
Yeah.
I mean, at Camels, for example, with all the simulation and robotics that goes on, all the MDs that are there, and the folks with masters in public health, there's a need for technicians coming out of HCC to run the equipment.
Yep.
And so that rising tide and that economy that creates those value-added jobs benefits everybody. And once we raise the level of education in the community, you raise the affluence of the community.
Yes,
and so that's why programs like this and what we've seen at Middleton and what are taking place all over the K-12 system are so important to us.
And the environment getting better all the time, and your latest program, the new vision for Tampa, I love that, and really challenging everybody to become a part of this thing.
You're absolutely right, and we've launched this master plan that will dictate the development patterns for the next 20 years, particularly in the urban core. But we didn't want it to be the mayor's plan. We didn't want it to be the government telling folks what was good for them. We wanted it to grow from the sidewalk up and from the front yards and the front porches up. And so we are reaching out to all of the neighborhoods involved in this and soliciting their input as to what they want their neighborhood to look like and how can we shape it and what amenities they want there and what they want the landscaping to look like. So they take ownership of it.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't just become another plan that sits on the shelf, it becomes the embodiment of their hopes and their aspirations, and they take ownership of it, and then I can step back and say, this is yours. You know, let's go make it happen.
Well, one thing that's happening, and I'm loving what's happening here, because first of all, the Tampa Bay area itself is so remarkable. I mean, you've got St. Petersburg with a great waterfront on the bay, and our developing waterfront on the river, which is so remarkable, and the speed with which it's happening now. And and then looking down the road to when there are going to be restaurants and so many other things happening there, and project I've been working with Roger Kurz and some others, the Walk of Fame, and you've got the historic markers, and then so many other things that are going to be happening on this thing. It's going to be a almost day-long effort to walk from one end to the other and check it all out.
And that's what we want.
Yes.
You know, this past week, I cut 6 ribbons in one day on businesses that had opened in Channelside. So when you create that critical mass and develop that residential, that means that there are customers there. So we cut ribbons on a hair salon, on a coffee shop, on a restaurant, on an architectural office, and then there was one other one. But 6 new offices hiring 78 new people in one day in Channelside. Downtown's alive, Jack.
And that's only the beginning for Channelside. Their future is so bright you got to wear shades, given the 3 groups that are trying to take over Channelside, and you don't have a loser among them. And some of the plans are just mind-boggling as to what the future is going to hold for the Channelside area, especially even when you got here and when I got here, it was a bunch of old buildings, and that, you didn't want to walk down there at night. But it really was remarkable.
Well, Tampa's alive and well, and there are more things to come. This is just the beginning. Jack, thanks again for helping me out on this. And
love it. Thank you.
And it's good to see everybody. Thank you. This has been a great show. We really get to showcase our young people, and I love doing that. And I'm proud of them, and I know you are as well. And we'll see you next month.
You bet.